is the first day of Iowa's second shotgun season, and Dad has a landowner tag, and Hunter and I are gonna get late season tags. So we're gonna come out here and film Dad. Hopefully shoot a big one. He saw 2 160-inch deer fight like this year, but we didn't know if we wanted to believe him because he didn't have any footage of it. But hopefully with the camera, the deer aren't camera shy. So we're gonna go back into the sedan grass since the farmer never cut it. Kind of set up on this spot where the deer walk the field edge and travel. So hopefully it's a good morning. Small buck. It's a little buck, like a spike. Yep, he's pushing them around. That one looks like a really small one. Might be a fawn. Jason, we're still in a good spot. Right. I just can't get over how all of those deer have come out of that CRP. Yep. And they're all working down into that. Yep. Funnel by the pond. Now you know why I like it over here. It's crazy. It is. That's why I wish we were in there, though. Yeah, I know. I would have thought that they would have came along this field edge here too. Well, that's why we're here, because I have seen them do that a lot. Today they're certainly in the timber more. Yeah. Usually they're right on this edge. They're coming in. I could probably take that one. I hear him. I think he ran out into this. He's out in this shit. The sun's right in my face. I know, he can't see anything. Yeah, on this side of the fence. I can't see him now. I lost him. Oh, no, he's on the other side. There he is. Yep, I got him. Well, he's on the other side. I can see orange. Oh, he's in it. He's in there. He was like running straight at us. Do you see the grass is moving up there? Oh, there he is. lost him in the... Dump him. Find him in the school. I can see him. Hold on. Okay. Can you see him? Shit, I can't stop. Do you see him? It got kind of exciting there. We've been set up for a while, and we saw a bunch of deer running across the CRP field. And our fence line is like 80 yards away, and on the other side the CRP isn't us. So those deer kind of worked down, and they worked down the funnel in front of us. And then we had like 4 or 5 roosters, pheasants, flying out of the field into us. And then we saw a coyote, and we couldn't shoot it because it was on the other side of the fence. But he ended up coming in. Time to grab a shooting rest. It's in the truck too. Well, back to the story that the coyote ran in front of us. We got him to stop, and then Dad shot, but it took a step as he shot. So we saw it, and we couldn't get another shot off at it. And then we just had another coyote run across. So trying to kill these coyotes because they're pests. So we can't even get into the field. There's a doe that's feeding in there, which is good news. So we got these big oaks right here that I think we're just gonna sit up next to. That way we're not gonna bump this doe. And we can get out. Set up in the box blind. We ended up getting in here because those does worked their way back out. So the field was cleared, and there's trails everywhere, and the turnips are beaten down. So we shed some layers to kind of try to cool off since this box blind is really hot. So hopefully the deer start piling out here. This is really the only food plot we have on our property. Other than there's one that's deep in there. The one that's back in further, it's really hard to get to. Well, we have made it back. So we had to leave because we saw that there was the big 7. He was up on Skyline and didn't really have a good look at him, and Dad we didn't want to take that Skyline shot. That's not a good option. And so once he came down below the hill, it was like 5:10. Shooting light ends at 5:13. And so we couldn't really see him and make a good ethical shot. So he passed on him, and we just kind of snuck out of there as fast as we could before the buck started headed down closer to us. So yeah, pretty exciting seeing that buck. Hopefully the footage turns out really well of him. It was pretty cool to have him Skyline like that, and I could see his fork on his right side, so I knew it was him. So that wraps it up for today. We'll see you guys tomorrow, so stay tuned. Okay, so it is December 9th. It's like 9 degrees out this morning. It's gonna be pretty cold, but there's no wind. So we're gonna go into a spot that we've never been before. And how it lays out, the deer seem to be always congregating down in there. We think it's a really thick bedding cover. So we're gonna go straight in there and see if we can set up and have a bunch of deer coming into us, because like I said, it's gonna be really thick, heavy bedding, and there's no wind. That's why we can get away with it. So we're gonna get tromping through here. We're gonna try to go slow and quiet as we can. It's super heavy frost, so we'll just have to see. It's a good spot. What's that? It's a good spot for a gun. Yeah. It's a really good spot. I don't know if we should be better off right like down and up against those cedars. Which one you like, that one or that one? I kind of like that one. It's fatter. I'll sit in the front. Sit kind of behind you. You'll sit kind of on the side of me. Yep. This camera does really well in low light, so that's different. But I was talking to the camera. Oh. We're set up. The food plot that we planted is kind of down that way to my right a little bit. We ended up coming in further than we thought just because you couldn't see back up in there. But we kind of got a good vantage point all the way around, so we should be able to see a lot. And there's a bunch of honey locust trees that are right below us, so I'm pretty excited about that. There should be a good amount of deer movement. So we'll just have to sit tight and see what happens. So for the rest of the morning, it was fairly slow. We ended up seeing one doe across the way there on that opposite ridge that you're seeing now, and it just didn't really pick up like we thought it was going to. The deer just didn't come to the area to bed, and we think that had to do with the fact that it was like 8 degrees in the morning and the frost was super heavy. So we think a lot of the deer were still up feeding in the morning, trying to graze on areas that were unthawed. And we ended up seeing a couple deer on the way out that were up in the fields feeding, so we could kind of confirm that. So I guess that's one note to take into consideration when you're wanting to go hunt bedding areas in the morning. If it's a super cold morning, sometimes deer might wait a little bit longer. They might stay out feeding a little bit longer just because some of the browse that they have is frozen. So they're trying to wait until the sun kind of comes in and warms it up. So that's something to take into consideration for your next hunt. So overall, Sunday's hunt was just a little bit slower. Sometimes that's just how it is in late season. I think that's how our farm is going to be, just because we don't have a lot of food on the property. So some of the bucks that we kind of watched grow this summer, they have left the property. They've been gone longer just because we don't have much food now. So you just have to take that into consideration when you're hunting late season. If your farm doesn't have a lot of food, you just kind of have to adapt to those conditions.
So our plans are this weekend, Hunter's going to head down and probably hunt with Dad, get some more footage, and hopefully have some luck there. And then late muzzleloader season starts up after this next weekend here. So both Hunter and I will be out. He's going to be hunting all week back down at the property and public land. So he should be bringing you guys a bunch of content. So you want to make sure you stay tuned for that. And we're just super excited to get back out in the field and get some more content rolling for you guys. So if you guys missed the live podcast, or if you missed any of our podcasts, please go and check out the Modern Hunter podcast. It'll be linked down below. Go check it out. We got some podcasts out, and sometimes, as some of you seen, we'll do some live podcasts here. And one other announcement that I want to try to get to and put it in a real video, I want to try to do a meetup / hunt. I want to try to kind of plan that. I'm thinking to do a turkey hunt, or just kind of gauge people's interest on either a turkey hunt or maybe a shed hunt or something. And that way, either if we go on a turkey hunt, I'm thinking like hunt Missouri or southern Minnesota or eastern Nebraska and do a weekend hunt. We will kind of plan the hunt, go there, and see if we can have some action, as well as just meet you guys and just kind of get to know everybody and have some fun. So I think that'd be a good opportunity for somebody who wants to go hunt out of state. That way that you're able to have us kind of telling you where we're going to go and meet up. So if you guys are interested in all that, make sure you shoot us an email at brunkoutdoorsinfo@gmail.com. And we'll get to talking with you guys what of those states that you're interested in hunting in. And I specifically chose those states, and not saying we won't go to other states. It's just kind of closer for us being in Iowa, and try to meet somebody somewhere. But I didn't want to do Iowa just because the applications for like a non-resident is just kind of a pain. So I'd rather just kind of go to a place where we can just buy a tag and go hunting. So if you guys are interested, make sure you shoot us an email, and we'll get to talking about that. So make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay tuned for all of our future content, and we'll catch you on the next one. So thanks for watching.